friend, I'm Ujjal Tripura. I'm going to share with you about the nature and about the education. How nature is important in our life and for our living creatures, and how education reflect on the natures. Friend, nature is important for all living creatures. The contributions of nature, the all living being exists, and the quality of life, the quality of place has been provided by this nature. Friend, and at present this nature has a great problem like global warming, environmental issues. Now education is the only tool, education is the only way which by through which we can make consciousness, we can conserve the nature, we can preserve the nature for our future generation. Friend, now let's see the overview of our topic. Now try to understand the topic throughout this video.
extremely privileged for given a chance to speak on today's significance, that is World Nature Conservation Day. Nature is like our mother. Every year on 28th July, we celebrate World Nature Conservation Day. This day recognizes that a healthy environment is the foundation for a productive society. It means we should take care of our nature and natural resources for our benefits and for future generations. Our Mother Nature has given us many beautiful gifts for our benefits.
Now it's turn to my friend Kanchan Sarkar. Please share it.
Thank you, Ujjwal. You have nicely presented. I have going to present my portion, the major environmental movements in India. So some of the major environmental movements in India during the period 1700 to 2000 are the following. This movement, these are the Chupke movements, Save Silent Valley movement, Jungle Bachao Andolan, Apico movement, Narmada Bachao Andolan, Tehri Dam conflict. We all are know that these things. So I have present. I will discuss next slide. Benefit of the environmental education. Why environmental education is important in the development of each student? Because the enhance creative the critical thinking, gives student skill to apply in the real world, promote the action to improve, boost the environment, teaches about the ecological issues but also political, cultural and the economics ones, sparks the creativity and imaginations, encourages a healthier lifestyle, strength in the community, reduce natural deficit disorder, encourages and promotes tolerance between the cultures. So, how to improve environmental education? So, friend, this point that give student more responsibility. Education that is focused on the environment can be very successful and yield amazing result only if the taught properly. If educators and the parents take over the entire burden in terms of environmental preservation, students will not be promoted to take action for their environment. There should be much more to environmental education than just classes that promotes environmental awareness and the homework that requires some writings. Environmental education is not about the writing skill of an individual. It is do some work. If you give them more the control over the project and ask them to actually do something, they are much more likely to understand the purpose of the environmental education. Next point, they help them get a sense of it. That's mean student can hardly understand the environment only by reading about it in books. No one says that you should take them to complete big project, but simply going outside with them is going to give them a better sense of what they are learning. Next point, provide outside class opportunities. So, if you manage to make a student more environmentally aware and create useful and interesting activities to promote the environmentally education, they are bound to show interest to actually make something for their environment. Next, the need to environmental literacy. Then I have discussed next slide. Aware of the environment. Why we are aware of the environment? What is the environmental awareness? So, friend, environmental awareness is about being aware of our natural surroundings and understanding how our action affect the well-being of the understanding how our action affect the well-being of the environment where we live as well as globally. The environment refers to all parts of nature, living and non-living. Being aware of the environment is important because of the increasing environmental challenges in the world is expressing, such as the climate change, deforestation, drought, global warming, water scarcity, pollution. Understand these issues, but making lifestyle changes but that add to environmental conservation is what environmental awareness is all about. How the ways of the creating environmental preservation awareness. So friend, 8 things school can do to create environmental awareness. Involving the school children is the environmental friendly activities will help them grow into aware citizen of the planet who can also make a difference to their communities. How can a school do it? In some preschools, children are then encouraged to as close to nature explore the leaves of a plant, observe their shapes and colors, and study their parts. They observe how each plant is are uniquely different from the others. The concept of recycling is also reinforced. The children creating poster to generate awareness about the importance of reducing, reusing, and recycling. Here are 8 ways of the creating environment preservation awareness I have discussed. First, the environmental club. Environmental club or become a part of the existing one is the dignity and conduct activities around the environmental preservation. This could include setting up the recycling system in the schools, the cafeteria, planting a small organic garden that will provide the fresh vegetables for the cafeteria. Children can also support local wildlife and reduce carbon dioxide in the atmosphere by planting trees, shrubs, and the flowers in the school playground. Secondly, cleanliness drives. That means the school can have the cleanliness drives on campus where children make sure that everything is kept clean and little free from from the classes to school playground. They should be made to feel responsible for the keeping all areas spotlessly clean. They should also be encouraged to participate in cleanliness drives in their communities. Becomes animals, plants, and insects. Thirdly, the embedding environmental preservation in the curriculum. School can also make sure children start learning about the environmental preservations from an early age. If children are being taught about water as an EVS topic when teachers can cover local water bodies like lakes and rivers, ponds, etc., they can be apprise the children about water scarcity and ask them to creatively think by way to conserve water by nature harvesting, innovate means to keep water bodies clean and so on. Environment friendly policies. Schools should make sure they have environmental policies that they follow in schools and students should be educated on the same. They can install solar panels so children can actually see and experience environment friendly practices daily. Adopt a plant program. What is this? School can have a program to adopt one plant in school and one at home and take pledge to provide complete care to lead it with the help of a gardener, parents, and others. Teach children to have empathy for living creatures. That means the empathy is an important value that schools need to inculcate in children. They need to understand that all living creatures need to be looked after. This can be imparted through stories and role playing where children become the animals and plants or insects. Lastly, I have said that the education is important, essential factor in the even more urgent global climate change. Knowledge regarding this phenomena helps young people to understand and tackle the consequences of global warming. UNESCO education, especially when focused our children and young people, is a key factor is help in helping to curb climate change. Thank you, friend. Next person discuss about my group members. Prashant. Prashant, you have group members.
Now, I am going to present the next part, that is an educational program to fight climate change. Education is an essential element of the global response to climate change. It helps people understand and address the impact of global warming, increases climate literacy among young people, encourages changes in their attitude and behavior, and helps them to adapt to climate change related trends. Education and awareness raising enable informed decision making, play an essential role in increasing adaptation and mitigation capacities of the communities, and empower women and men to adopt sustainable lifestyles. Climate change education is a part of UNESCO Education for Sustainable Development, that is ESD program. In 2014, UNESCO launched the Global Action Program on ESD. The official follow the decade as the climate change. Critical thematic focus aims to make climate change education a more central, visible part of the international response to climate change. Together with other UN agencies, promote climate change education and public awareness at high-level events such as annual UNESCO meeting through the UN Alliance on Climate Change Education, Training and Public Awareness. In particular, UNESCO supports and guides countries to meet commitment under the Paris Agreement and Article 6 on education. Education has to prepare all the learners and segments of the society for the challenges of the climate change poses and equip people and economies with the knowledge and competencies to engage as informed citizens in shaping green, low emission and climate resilient societies. As part of its work on education for sustainable development, UNESCO supports countries to integrate climate change into their education systems and facilitate dialogue and exchange of experiences on climate change education through organizing international expert meetings. It develops technical guidance, material and teaching and learning resources such as an online course that climate change in classroom, UNESCO course offer for secondary teachers on climate change education for sustainable development, and many other climate change education resources are ongoing by UNESCO. It mobilizes and supports schooling, including UNESCO associated schools and training institutions to implement climate change education through a whole school approach model, where sustainability principles are also integrated into the management of the school facilities and governance structures of the learning institutions. Through the provision of capacity building for journalists and broadcast media on climate change, UNESCO is assisting member states to enhance public awareness of the cause and effect of the climate change and what countries and communities can do to adapt to impact ahead. This work also aids report on government companies to do the same and to help to maintain the climate in a good condition. Educational institutions are playing very important role for maintaining the sustainability of the environment, and also the teachers, students, all are purely integrated to maintain this sustainability to fight against our climate change. Now move on to the next part, that is conserving the nature. The term nature, it encompasses that living organisms and the forces responsible for the physical world such as weather, mountain, oceans and landscapes. When we speak about conserving nature, we really talking about taking care of our future, because nature provides essential resources for our survival and enjoyment. We often forget how much humans depends on nature. Even city dwellers living in modern skyscrapers needs air to breathe, water to drink and food to eat, all of which are provided by the nature. You can buy a bottle of water, ready-made meals in supermarkets, but they were not produced there. Some fruits and vegetables, for example, only grow in tropical country and cross the globe in refrigerated ship containers to arrive to your local supermarket. All drinking water ultimately comes from a natural source. Since we still do not have the technology to manufacture large amount of water in a laboratory, the same applies to the air we breathe. which is purified and oxygenated by plants. So, when we speak about the preserving nature, we actually talking about preserving ourselves. Whereas nature encompasses the natural environment as a whole, the term biodiversity. Biodiversity, the word means the variety of the living organisms on the earth and includes different levels of organisms from genes, species, and communities through entire ecosystems. This term biodiversity is used to refer to all living organisms. Biodiversity is ultimately responsible for the services we receive from nature, which we also call ecosystem services or nature's contribution to people. For example, forest containing many different bees where natural forests have been cut down. Beekeepers must bring in artificial beehives to guarantee the enough pollinators to visit crop flowers to produce fruit. Other wild organisms like wasps and birds act as a pest control agents for agricultural crops, reducing the population of pests that damage those crops and resulting in higher yield crops. You are probably thinking that you already knew about this and that there is not much you know to do preserve air, water, fruit, trees. But even if you live in a big city far away from oxygen producing forest, our water springs or crop fields, your daily actions can have a strong impact on these natural resources. Spilling a single drop of cooking oil while cleaning the dishes contaminate a million drops of water. Traveling in a vehicle powered by the fossil fuels contribute air pollution and global climate change. Buying certain processed food ingredients such like palm oil can contribute to the massive deforestation in the tropics as farmers clear land to grow these crops for money. All these impact together to make up what it called as ecological footprints. Ecological footprints means this is how much people take from nature, which then compared to what natural resources are available to provide for people. We will now share you some important practices that we do all to help and conserve nature, to preserve our own well-being and guarantee that natural resources are available for future generations. First is reduce our ecological footprints. Reducing our ecological footprints means placing less demand on nature. Of course, we all know that is the 3R: reduce, reuse and recycle. And here are some ways I discuss by which we can preserve our nature. First is recycle your rubbish and participate in your help to organizing recycling campaigns. Avoid littering and participate in help the organize to clean up the beach. Use less plastic. For example, carrying a reusable water bottle, saying no to disposable straws and cutlery, avoiding plastic toys, and bringing your own shopping bags to shop your own things. Swap toys, movies, and books instead of buying new ones. Donate. Recycle and repair electronic devices. Use less water when brushing teeth, taking a shower, or washing the dishes or clothes. Use less electricity by turning off lights and electronic devices when not in use, using energy saving light bulbs and hanging clothes to dry. Use public transports. Share a journey with friends. Example: car, shared shipping, cycle, or walk is possible. If possible, then don't use your bike or car. Please use a cycle or take a walk when possible. Use less paper by not printing unnecessary things and reading e-books. Turn down air condition when it is not in use. Use fan if you are feeling still hot. Turn down the heat when it is cold, and use sweater, blanket and socks to keep warm. Do not waste food. Try to buy food that grown locally and in season. Eat more, not meat proteins like beans, less dairy foods, vegetables and more organic foods when possible. Buy products that do not cause damage to the environment and have certified labels. Reuse to buy what you do not need, because every item you do not buy reduces the demand for the production of that item. For example, if everyone stopped buying plastic bags, then the supermarkets would stop selling them. Conserve nature. Conserving nature means to protect, preserve and restore biodiversity. Here are some ways I am trying to discuss with you. Try to prevent your pets from harming wildlife. Do not touch or take home wild animals or plants. Plant native wildflowers, fruit trees and pollinator friendly plants in your garden or yard. Make compost to improve soil quality and help insect to grow. Build and place for bat houses, bird houses and bee hotel in your garden. School grounds and local green places can be turned to be like such. Do not buy or keep wild pet at home. Be aware of wild animals crossing the road and respect their paths. Connect with nature. That is, connecting with our nature means setting aside time to interact with natural environment. We can follow some way to connect our nature. First is play outside and spend more time in nature. Organize trip to explore the national parks, nature reservoir close to you. Join conservation program or eco clubs. Participate in nature focused citizenship science initiatives. Use books or some other media to plants and animals around you to protect them. Play games to learn more about nature. Use website and social media to raise awareness how to conserve our nature and share with all. At last but not the least, understanding the importance of our nature and biodiversity for our own well-being can really help us to preserve save our nature. We have to provide some practical ideas that we can all try to reduce our ecological footprints, conserve our nature and connect with nature. We encourage you all to plant a tree in your life and practices such ideas and action with your family and friends and save our environment. Thank you, and thank you all for listening to me. Thank you all.